Choosing a career has got to be one of the biggest decisions we ever make. I mean, it shapes our daily lives, our financial security, and even who we are. But with so many options out there, how do you even begin to find the right path? Well, today, we're going to break it all down. Does this look familiar? That feeling of being totally overwhelmed, just staring at this sea of possibilities, not having a clue where to even start? It's a feeling most of us have had, for sure. And honestly, it's completely understandable when you think about what's at stake. Just let that number sink in for a second. 90,000. That's roughly how many hours the average person spends at work in their lifetime. That is a huge slice of our lives. No pressure, right? And here's the kicker. Even with all that time we put in, the data shows that more than half of Americans are actually unsatisfied with their jobs. A lot of that traces right back to decisions we made early on, maybe without the right guidance or information. Okay, but what if you didn't have to guess? What if you could trade all that uncertainty for a clear, structured game plan that's actually built for you? That's exactly what we're going to get into. And this is where career counseling steps in. Think of it as your personal guide, helping you get from that confusing place of guesswork to a destination of real clarity and purpose. So what is it, really? Well, at its heart, career counseling is a structured process. It's not about somebody just telling you what to do. Nope. It's about helping you systematically figure out who you are, your skills, your passions, your goals, so that you can make the best, most informed choices for yourself. I love this slide because the contrast is just so clear. On one side, you've got the path a lot of us take, guesswork, uncertainty, which, can easily lead to being unhappy down the road. But on the other side, you have a structured process that leads to clarity, confidence, and a much higher chance of actually loving what you do. It's really the difference between just wandering around and actually navigating with a map. All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. How does career counseling actually work? What's going on behind the scenes that creates this kind of transformation? So it usually breaks down into 3 main steps. First up, assessment. This is the deep dive, using proven tools like personality and aptitude tests to get a really solid picture of your natural strengths. Then, exploration. You take that info and you and your counselor start looking at careers that are a great match for you and for what the job market actually looks like. And finally, the action plan. This is where it gets real. You map out the practical steps to get you from here to there. And the stuff you walk away with is so practical. We're talking more than just a goal. You get the tools to actually reach it. You get clarity in your own values, a real understanding of the job market, a killer resume, top-notch interview skills, and maybe the best part, the incredible confidence that comes from knowing you're on the right track. In this just shows the power of being in the right lane. When your work is truly aligned with your natural strengths, you're not just happier, you are way more effective. Some studies even suggest your personal productivity can shoot up by as much as 10 times. I mean, that's a game changer. Okay, so let's say you're on board with the idea. How do you go about finding the right person to help you? Because finding a good fit is absolutely crucial. Here's a little checklist of what to look out for. First, certifications. Look for ones from places like the NCDA. That ensures they've got the right training. Next, check out their experience. Do they have a solid track record? Positive reviews are also a huge plus. They show that other clients were happy. And if you're interested in a specific field, finding a counselor who specializes in it can be a goldmine of insight. Lastly, you want someone who's flexible, someone who's going to tailor their approach just for you. And here is a super important tip. Seriously, don't skip this step. Always try to meet them before you commit, even if it's just for a quick consultation call. This is a partnership, right? You have to feel comfortable with them. That personal connection is everything. There's this common idea that career counseling is just for students trying to pick a major. But that's not the whole story at all. In reality, it's an amazing tool you can use throughout your entire career. Just think about it. What about adults who are trying to switch careers? They need support, especially when you see that a big chunk of midlife career changes happen because the world of business is changing so fast. And it's not even just for individuals. Small businesses can benefit big time by using counseling to boost employee happiness, keep their best people, and make smarter hiring choices from the get-go. I think this quote just sums it all up perfectly. This isn't just about finding your next job, it's about building a foundation for a career that's more adaptable, more forward-moving, and in the end, just way more fulfilling. So after all this, here's the question to leave you with. When you really think about it, is your career truly reflecting your full potential? And if the answer is no, or maybe even just, I'm not sure, well, maybe it's time to find your guide.